Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on Blacklight on Sports. My name is Charles Hallman,
I'm Dr. Mitchell Palmer McDonald.
and we appreciate you being with us. Tonight, we have our guest is a noted sports psychologist. And we, we that's something that we definitely want you to talk about us. But I think you're the first psychologist we've ever had.
Oh, I love it.
So introduce yourself to our audience and then
Yes.
give us a little brief resume of you.
A little brief resume. Gosh. Hello, I'm Dr. Kirby Kidd, Kirby, Dr. K for short. I am here in Minnesota going on 3 years. I work with Premier Sport Psychology. I am originally from Birmingham, Alabama, so you might hear that Southern twang. Um, so I would say a little bit more things that I would love for you to know. Um, I went to a women's college out in New England, so Mount Holyoke College, and did all of it, like my graduate work up there too. So I went to Springfield College also to get my doctorate. And the rest was history, just on the way to becoming a sports psychologist.
What brought you here to Minnesota?
A job,
Like most of
yes,
us.
a job, because what is Minnesota? What is that? Okay. Um, so yeah, a job. Great opportunity.
And why psychology?
Gosh, I actually love people. I do think we're super interesting and I love people watching. I think in terms of just psychology, I think I've always been attracted to how people think and how people, I would say, process information. And then growing up in the Black community, just around Black art, Black people, Black peopling, you just notice things that are just different. And so social psych and sociology was super attractive to me. And then once you added sport into it, I loved it. And then you continue with it and you learn that sport is just a microcosm of the world. It just signed me up. So,
Yeah, I was wondering what made you focus on sports.
gosh. Ooh, to give a quick answer. So I played basketball from church league all the way until the conclusion of my first year in college.
Hmm.
And I didn't have as much consistency playing basketball. So it was like stop, start, stop, start. I didn't find AAU until ninth grade, which is kind of late back in the day. Um, so based on those observations and joining different teams, once I finally got to college, unfortunately, I did not get in. I rode the bench, but because I am super observant, I started to see just a lot of things in terms of communication, cohesion,
Hmm.
coaching confidence, the coaching, just the communications. And so that really attracted me. And I happened to be at a great institution with other, like Mount Holyoke and four other colleges where I started to see and examine other like sport based classes, sports psychology classes or coaching classes. And I said, oh, I'm interested and just follow my curiosity from there. So I did not continue to play, but I just wanted to really examine the game behind the game.
Now, did your playing experience help you as
Absolutely.
far as because I just heard you say that you observed. I mean, my junior year in high school, I was on the bench, but we were clowning. We were
Well, we
we were
did
we
have,
were talking stuff about how we
yeah.
could be at home watching TV. How come I'm
Now
not playing?
that's true. Like, what are we doing here? But
Yeah,
the little old Southern girl who's also in New England for the first time. So it's
Mhm.
just a great opportunity. I
Okay.
think what I remember too is it was me getting used to that weather. I think I was always cold the first year because it took you time to get used to that. And then because of the away games, you got to tour New England. So it
Mhm.
became interesting and just a great opportunity. And just believed that things would get better until it just did not. And I said, we gotta go. Yeah.
Now, why did you choose that school?
Gosh, long story. So I went to boarding school. So I went to boarding school in Mobile, Alabama. So I'm originally from Birmingham, but Mobile, Alabama. I pursued boarding school because I really just wanted a better academic experience that didn't have a lot of distractions. And so attending a boarding school would have put me in
Mhm.
that great controlled environment. And my English teacher at the time really told me about women's colleges because I really had the stamina to write and really convey and tell stories and really have a critical lens on things. So he just told me about a lot of the colleges in terms of he had interviewed at some of these women's colleges. And so what he saw and why he was attracted to that, he saw that in me. And I just ran with it and applied to, I think, about 7 sister colleges. So that's kind of like with Wellesley and Bryn Mawr, and Mills College out in California. So I just applied and ran with it. Yeah.
Mm.
What now? Once you got there, what aha moments you had to deal with because you're going from
You're taking me back.
you're going from a black environment,
Yeah.
now you're going to an environment or PWI as they
Yeah.
call it. We've all gone through that.
Of course.
And that's gonna be culture shock in some
Yes.
respects, and sometimes we can recover from that, and sometimes we don't. How was you able to handle those aha moments that just took your breath away and able to bounce back and continue to go on your goal?
Yes. So for me, I was prepared. I think there is a fight in a Southern Black woman that is like none other, like just show enough. And I was prepared for like, oh, okay, Black is not bad, Black is good, Black is not like I was prepared, speech ready, like I'm gonna get at you. And I got there and it was a lot of me. It was New York. Oh, I love New York. Black people I just love them. But it was a lot. It was a beautiful African diaspora there, those from the Caribbean, those from the islands, just a lot. I would say at the time I said domestic Black, so USA based Black people, was a lot of them there. And what Mount Holyoke prided themselves on was having uncommon women on common ground at the time. So they really had a very diverse population. So 1 in 3 women were non-white, essentially. So I was prepared for that. But when I got there, my name immediately became Bama, Alabama. So it became a lot of the snide or snarky or sneaky remarks of like, oh, like you just grew up on a farm. Or they really thought that I talked like really country and I really couldn't say anything and I was po duck, or that I really couldn't comprehend anything. No, it was not that. So that was my biggest aha moment, of whoa, you're characterizing me as Alabamian. Alabamian is bad. Okay. So that was different, or that you're slow, given that New England is pretty much based off of the wealth and the intellect. So that was the biggest aha. Mm.
Man. Did you, how can I put this? Did you ever bring any of your friends home with you to Alabama?
Yes, there was.
And were they surprised at what they saw? Did they have any like
Did they have any preconceived?
preconceived notions of what? Because you said
Yes.
you're from Alabama, yeah, your country, you live on a farm, that type of
Yes.
thing. Did that happen?
That did not happen. So I did have a friend who did travel with me and stayed. And I think what struck her the most was just how kind and just how centered we are in the Southern hospitality. 'Cause she's from New York.
Yeah.
So
Oh
we
yeah.
don't speak to you. Like
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
bump into, oh, who are you
Yes.
talking to? And why are you talking to me?
Yep. I lived in New York. Yep.
Exactly. So she's like, wait, they're polite, they're holding doors, they're kind. That was her aha moment. I was like, yeah, that's how we do it. Now we can get nice nasty. Now
Mhm.
we still got some, edges that are rough,
Mhm.
but it's still that kindness and that Southern hospitality that kind of got her.
Now, like in your profession, what type of issues do you deal with as far as when you're dealing with clients or anything like that? What are some of the things that come up?
Gosh. Mm. In terms of what they're reporting or what I experienced.
Um, Both.
Ooh. Okay, I gave you that. You took it. So in terms of what they're reporting, so the beautiful thing with this opportunity is that brought me up the job is that I'm working with like single digit humans, like 7, 8, I would say maybe 8, 9,
Mhm.
all the way to middle-aged adults who are probably doing like CrossFit or strongman.
Okay.
And so, but my larger population is college age.
Okay.
So I work with two institutions, and the way that we've been prepared for them is that some of the students are affluent and they are used to things and are more entitled. And so, really, um, working with them to best understand resilience and how to apply that in a different demand of their life to working with a D1 institution, and it's the athletes needing to get used to the demand of D1. And that is almost a sense of a loss of autonomy, basically. And they do need to follow this schedule. And so, if you're not as disciplined, then that creates management issues. So, you have that, just I would say globally, just based on being a student athlete.
Okay.
But generally, family issues, depression, anxiety, sleep issues, relationship issues, coaching dynamics, team dynamics. I would say same textbook things, and then first I would being at my D1 institution, it's a lot of Minnesotans attending Minnesota, essentially. So they're used to it. What I experience is I do not sit across from a lot of people that look like me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because it's Minnesota, and I'm used to that. What I'm not used to is the way that I've sat with it is that the lack of density of black people in here has created something that's just missing that that I don't have, that I would have just in the South, and I even had in New England. So the peopling and that culture and how people understand and know each other is different. Um, what else did I say I experienced? Just the competitiveness is different. I'm also from the SEC. It means more. And it's just different. It's a different competitiveness. Not saying that one is literally more than the other. It's just different. And so that's just taking me time to understand and join just my caseload essentially that just help them be as competitive as they can be just with their mental performance and also just navigating life as they are an athlete too. Um, but yeah, I would say that's kind of just skimming off the top what I experienced at report and what I've navigated. Yeah.
And you've liked it so far?
I have liked it so far because with my job, this is no other opportunity will you get so many different walks of life and presentations of athlete and sport and just what's going on as a human um at one time. So typically you're at one place and you're only getting that caseload on about 5 to 6 contracts. So it's a good challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much did what we went through with the pandemic
hmm
affected your job and affected athletes that you and students that people that you regularly deal with, or has it had any kind of adverse
Oh,
impact?
definitely. I would say I would definitely immediately start with the benefit of it is that more student athletes, more clients understand and embrace mental health more because being at home, being stuck at home, being quarantined at home was different, like none other. And in addition to what it made us witness during the time as well, is it had an impact. And so this past year was me interacting with, I would say, the freshmen, the high school freshmen of the pandemic. So developmentally, they're leaving like that middle school, like, they're finding themselves. And then now the social demand and desire to really put themselves forth in the world through high school, they didn't get that. They didn't get that. So, and the resources, they were beginning to get the resources of mental health. And so, as they've reached college, they've shown up for their mental health resources. So the caseload went up because they're committed to it. Um, I would say the negatives of it is that what's coming to mind is potentially, I don't know, I would say maybe just adversity is just different. I came up and pursued this discipline understanding that a lot of athletes that I grew up with didn't have a lot of resources and they still made it. Basically, they still figured it out. And I'm sitting in, a decade later where people have a lot of resources. And in some cases, they don't know how to use the resources.
Okay.
So it's still kind of the same. I would say I try to find a thread and do good work nonetheless.
Now, when you made an appearance or you was a presentation at the annual Women's Coaches
Yeah.
Symposium
Yes.
at the U, which is sponsored by the Tucker Center. Um, I cover that event pretty much all the time, and I always kind of disappointed they don't have more black people there,
Mm-hmm.
either as in front of the camera or sitting in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you share with our audience what was your topic and what did you was able to share with the majority group, and then what feedback did you get after
Oh,
you gave the
wonderful.
presentation?
Thank you. Yes. So my title was Make 'em Nervous, essentially. And I presented on confidence for women, basically women athletes. And I really used the opportunity to reflect on what have been the stories, what have been the narratives that's been shared to me from a lot of my college age women athletes. You kind of see a little bit of it in the youth athletes as well, just regarding how they handle their confidence when they are in the setting that they want to be in, or they're trying to pursue the setting that they want to be in. And so I talked about essentially why the confidence is pretty what's the word? Mm, not dismantled, but it's kind of weakened. So it's not as strong. And so a lot of things I've witnessed is that sometimes the confidence is weakened because of people pleasing or seeking a perfectionism. Or I said one of the ones was like transactional kindness in terms of you're wanting, I sat across from athletes who think that it's best to just be kind so other person can be kind to them and they can kind of get their way or they can kind of find some type of cohesion. And it's like, ooh, so when it doesn't go your way, what are you going to do? So really kind of coaching, um, permit doing the performance coaching in that as well, because I've said be kind, just be kind. Be kind, because do you want to be dysregulated when they're not kind back? No, because that might show up on the field, the court, whatever, and then you're benched. Um, Gosh, there was another one that an audience member asked me about. I can't remember at the moment. Um, but oh, displaced confidence. So I've sat across from athletes who they put their confidence in other people too much, so much so that they forget that they have their own strengths.
Mm-hmm.
They forget that they can navigate things confidently or strategically, and it's like you completely fawn or faint away or get paralyzed because you just displaced your confidence in a whole other person who's human as well. Um, and so I talked about just what I've seen, and then I pretty much highlighted this wonderful book, The Confidence Code, for women, that really just talks about and examines how confidence is practiced, how confidence can be researched and explored. It essentially underscores that you build confidence from action. Do the thing. Sitting, thinking about it, ruminating about it is costing you time. And women, we could get into our overthinking, and then we overthink and then we stall
Mm-hmm.
or we stop or our performance gets stunted. And so I was really just driving that home and then pretty much highlighting that failure is data. Get the data. Fail. It's okay. You're not succeeding if you're not failing. Everything is not just a straight trajectory. And then just giving more recommendations of how to celebrate failure, how to take risks, how to quickly act to get the data and quickly adjust. That's all of what it's about. Um, Based on my, I would say, presentation style, I was very interactive with the crowd. It was great. Lots of good reactions and feedback and interaction from people. Um, and it was at 10 o'clock in the morning, so people were really grateful and happy that it was engaging. So it's like, that's awesome. I needed this energy too. So it was good.
Now, how? Do you think um, that it is very important for uh, people to see you as a black woman, uh, giving presentations, handling different situations and problems, helping people cope with all the struggles that they go through and helping them adjust. How important do you think it is for them to see you as a black woman, uh, participating in all of this?
It's very important, definitely to be seen, and visibility, representation means a lot. And I think what I do understand is that, and I've noticed this even during undergrad, is that black means something different wherever you go. Unfortunately. So for me, and I was like, oh, what's true to me is I was like, born into black excellence because of, what the history of the South is.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what it means to me, in addition to is joy. It's just laughter, all that stuff. And it's important because what I do witness um, is that there are athletes who are looking for me, or athletes who are like, no, we're looking for the real, we're looking for the straight. Yeah, come find me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important, especially with coping, especially with athletes who really do need to explore their identity. And this is all identities, not just limited to one,
Mm-hmm.
or racial or anything. And to do that with, I don't know, a touch of blackness or a touch of realism. I don't know what you call it, but just the Southern black woman love. Um, it is important. And I think that some of the games I participated in terms of just being present,
Mm-hmm.
you have definitely black moms who are like, oh, wait, who are you? So,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be in your face. And I'm like, oh, hi, yep, I'm one of the sports psychologists here. And they're like, oh, great. So they're really grateful. It's like that gasp of relief, that just to be present. Um, that's been really beautiful to witness and experience and be a part of. So when I can show up and be present to be known,
Mm-hmm.
I do, because it's very important. So yeah, I answered that.
Oh, you answered it.
Oh, thank you. Hey.
Now, what ballpark number or percentage of people that look like you
Me? Mm.
statewide and nationally?
In terms of
What,
licensed and
yeah, what you do as a psychologist, do when you go into a room out there, do you see other people that look like you when you are out and about, or you at presentations, or you at association meetings, if there's such anything like that, or it's just that you still that you stand out in the crowd?
I mean, you always stand out of the crowd, natural hair, all this stuff. We don't stand out. The way it go. Come on, let's be for real. No, there aren't a lot of mean, and even black male psychologists or clinicians. They aren't. I think it's been an experience trying to find. I mean, one even like a therapist for myself, and it's still a matching and sorting game in that. And then just as professionals showing up for professional development or professional gathering, it's few, unless you are like, it takes time to just find like that niche of people. And I mean, it could still be 100 of us, as you never know. Um, but we are like a few, and our percentage within psychology is very small. I think it's definitely under 6%, and then it's mostly dominated by women sports psychologists, and then black male psychologists have a smaller percentage. So, unfortunately, yeah.
Now, was anybody when you was growing up that you saw that made you want to do this?
That's a great question. No, I am the first psychologist in my family. I'm the second doctor in my family, though, because well, if you count Juris Doctorate with my mom, so third doctor, basically. Um, And not for nothing, based on America being America, a lot of Black women, we have to pursue those credentials basically to get um, the recognition, the respect, and the dollar. So if we didn't have to do it, trust me,
Mm,
I think we would like, ooh, we don't have to go to school. Great.
mm,
Um, but I did pursue it because I was just curious and interested and wanted to be available and be in the mix for the athlete where the demands of just matriculating into everything, it just becomes, it's so, it's a lot and life spins out of control and they're talented, but they're literally not ready for that demand, which if you're not ready for it, if you don't have help and support, you right back out in the wild.
mhm.
So for me, um, I didn't know a person who was doing sports psych one-on-one. I didn't even really know what that was, to be completely honest. I think I did sit across from clinicians and like medical, clinical counseling care, but no one that had pursued sport. So I'm just really a raw deal of like, oh no, I just followed it and chased it and saw what happened.
Did you ever envision going back home and doing what you
Mm,
do
mm.
now?
Moment of silence. Mm. That's a tangled web there. Ooh. I actually would, um, and for me, even long before, I think one of the conversations with my mom was, if you leave, come back with something. Like you're bringing a resource to the community. Birmingham is growing. It just topped the charts of like the Mayor Wolfen, who's lowered kind of like the crime rate, who's lowered like um, the murders and deaths. So it's popping. I mean, it's the South. A lot of like football is king, basketball is next up. So I would love to go back and pretty much bring what I'm doing, bring an infrastructure there.
Mhm.
So the kiddos and young athletes and the professional athletes who go back and just train there, they're getting this resource. I would love to do that. It is in the back of my mind. I just know it's going to take some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been there, been to Birmingham as late as this February.
Mm,
I was
mm,
there in Tuscaloosa.
mm.
Uh,
T-Town.
and it was I've been there. NABJ was there 1 year,
Okay.
a couple years. That was my first time being in Birmingham.
Okay.
And then I came back a year later to cover the NBA, the baseball game that played at
Yes.
Kirkwood Field.
Yes.
Uh, and then I came back again this year to do the NAIA tournament
Okay.
there in Tuscaloosa at Spelman College.
Nice.
So the hospitality, yes, I
Yes.
definitely got that. It seemed like
And we like to feed you too.
yeah. Oh
Ooh.
shoot! Not
Man.
only did they fed me, I slept real good. I had to try to stay awake because they fed you between games, right? I don't know if
Yes.
they said, oh, no, I
Amen.
don't know. Can I do
Amen.
this? And then what I was impressed with the fact that, well, they was impressed that I came there from Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and most people are there from the South,
Yes.
and so for me to come there, they made a big deal
That's
about me
good.
being there, and I really appreciate that treatment. Wasn't phony it, but it was just a nice treatment. Everybody except for one person. One person treated me
Mm-hmm.
badly.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, everybody treated me pretty nice, and they want me to come back next
Yes.
season.
Go. Just
It just
hydrate. Just drink your water.
oh yeah, I did. It was great. I mean, I had a great time. I really did. Because I compared that to I told Mitch I compared it to another tournament I went to, and it was totally different.
Okay.
Totally different. They are both black tournaments,
Yeah.
but that
Mm-hmm.
one was done much. They had much more organized. They was feeling. Other one was just almost too corporate and too stifled,
Well,
and
I
so
guess who
if
was
I had to
leading it?
compare,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely won't go back to that one. I
Okay.
go back to this one, but no,
That's
I
awesome.
enjoyed it. Just I like talking to people. You
Mm-hmm.
like talking to people too, but as a journalist, I like to get a feel of the neighborhood and the
Yes.
community because when we go out to cover an event, we just go into the event and that's it. But I like to get. I had a chance to go into the community and talk to people,
Yes.
and that was fun to get a feel of things.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It makes me think about I think it's Hoops 205, which is I don't know if the owner is a former professional athlete. Either way it goes, he built his own huge gym that just ushers back the professional athletes and just helps with the young people. But it's just a great I don't know exactly where it's located, but just a great facility for people to come out. And he does have his own tournaments because, build it and they will come. And then it's Jalen Sherrard with the Liberty.
Okay.
We attended the same high school, different decades now. And I just love her story because she attended Colorado and we crossed paths there briefly and then entered the draft. I don't think she was drafted, but later was signed to the Liberty and then became a champion like 2 months later. So I'm like, okay, girl, Alabama Ramsey stands up. Yes. Yes. So
Now, growing up, and when you went to college, did you have a support system, or did you sometimes you're out there on your own. Sometimes you don't have that support system, not because they don't want to support you,
yep.
but they're just not equipped to support you. Um, did you have that? Did you have people supporting you as you were going through your journey of becoming a sports psychologist?
Yes. It wasn't the traditional sense, so definitely mom supported me, aunt and supported me, and then it's still the family dynamics. So especially when you're out being independent and it's like, oh my gosh. And then it also was the reality of knowing, okay, ain't nobody coming up here to visit me, it's cold. I'm the only brave one to explore this. So you have to put yourself out there. If you can't tell by now, I'm pretty gregarious and I do like talking to people. So I pretty much didn't meet a stranger based on being an Alabamian, Southern hospitality, all that stuff. So I would say I ended up working with like our writing center there, and you just meet a lot of people, um, a lot of mentors really obviously took a liking to me, and so they would invite me to like holiday things, Thanksgiving, or spend time with me one on one during the summer. Oh, well, during breaks, I really didn't stay there during the summer. And that became a support system, especially with the African diaspora being what it was there. They became your support system. So the upper class women, some of the deans, that became your support. And you got through because that's how you do life, pretty much. That's how you people. Um, so somebody who could braid my hair, someone who would sit with me when I was like bawling out crying when I didn't get the grade, or I couldn't go home when I wanted to go to, or I was upset because a boyfriend broke up with me. Like that was support, basically. Yeah. So you had it, you find it, you figured it out. It's a great question.
And you are a sports fan.
I am, and I also realize other things.
Well, talk about when you watch sports. Can you watch it as a fan, or do you watch it with a
Man,
clinical and technical eye?
geez, that's such a great question because now doing what I do, I prefer. So when I watch it, it depends on how I'm watching it in terms of if I'm there, how close I am to watching just the game and then also watching the bench. I personally, I'm so sorry. I don't like broadcasting. I really don't. Because sometimes all of the commentating is too much data. So I'm like, ooh, mute. Let's just put that on mute. Depending on the personalities of the commentators, like, okay, I can rock with you. But sometimes that's too much. Um, I know with the Lynx last year, them traveling back and forth to New York, I really enjoyed watching um gosh, the field goal camera, like the camera over the field goal.
Okay.
And it was more of that big aerial view back and forth instead of like the sideline. Because I got more data as I wanted to see the bench, I wanted to see interactions, and so I actually kind of wanted to see the things in between the timeouts. I didn't want to watch no commercial for real, like no. So, because I'm pulling out the data of body language, confidence, speed, when are things, the tempo, coach's reaction, bench react, everything. I'm even looking at the refs like, oh, you gonna call that? Like, or, you know? So I'm looking at that data depending on if I'm actually at a game. I'm not being bougie when I say this, but I prefer to be like in a suite or a place where I actually just have some space to be. Because sometimes sitting in those seats, they hurt my knees. I'm tall. And so I'm distracted. Like, oh, I can't pay attention. But if I'm in a suite, I just have a little bit more fluidity to just watch things and just see from that POV. But I'm looking at the same things, data, and depending on if I'm showing up to a game that I'm on a contract on and I'm working with the athlete, I'm looking for the things that we've been working on, because depending on what they report back, I might have to challenge them and say, hey, no, that's not what happened. Let's go back and look at the tape if we have access to that. And depending on if that's what we're working on, because we're working on like behavior modification as well. Say it's free throws, or say it's they're really working on their temper and not like going off and putting their head. Oh, no. Okay, no, be emotional, but also remember this ref, work with you here. So you might need to like adapt and switch it up a little bit. So really being able to talk about that. So I definitely am a sports fan, because I'm just looking at essentially the competitiveness, the peopling of that. Um, and you can, doing what we do, you can notice people's mindsets too, really easily. So
The landscape of sports, how much that has changed. What I mean by that, NIL and transfer portal, how much that had an impact for what you do. Because I'm talking to coaches, and coaches are telling me, they you don't know the guy or woman is going to be there from one year to the next, because they don't want to deal with frustration. They don't deal with, it's not just always not playing. It's just they can get up and leave, like they couldn't do before. And now you got NIL where the jealousy factors can come up, because if one person making so much, they not making it. Why I'm not making it? Why they? So that can affect the team dynamics in some respects.
Sound like you've been on my couch. Sound like you've sat across from me.
What?
No, I'm kidding. You speaking it. I mean, you speaking it. Yes.
You have a couch, huh?
Yeah, we do. I mean, like, I mean, yeah, like my office and all that.
I can't believe you just asked that question. Oh, man.
I gotta sit somewhere.
Yeah, but you have a couch.
I thought you do like Bob Newhart.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, hey, we could walk and talk or something like that. We would, but
that was good. That was good. That was good. Man.
But how much? But being serious, how much is that? Is that becoming an impact for you to have to, another obstacle you have to deal with your clients?
yes, it's out there. Did it exactly show up on my couch recently? No. Who's to say was coming? I think I'm thinking about the SEC and the money they put out, and like the Vanderbilt, all that stuff. What I've sat across from is what is believed from being given money.
Okay.
So, oh, I signed an NIL deal of like $200,000. And so that means that this coach really believes in me and they're going to give me the playing time. Okay. So, and because maybe the players are talking about their NIL deals with each other. And then what they are aware of too is that, okay, you earned that. Your stats were kind of better than mine, but okay, this is my piece of the pie. And so that also means that they think that they're going to get in ready. They're going to they have that investment, and sometimes it doesn't play out like that.
Okay.
So that is hard to navigate, because it's, when I say it's still live, things could still change at the drop of a dime. So that is something that can get changed. Like, yes, the ink is dry, you got your money, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be used in the same way. Because you never know who's in front of you or who's actually having just a breakout season. Yeah. So I would say that's a part of what I do and I'm prepared to do, is to help athletes really assess and acknowledge and audit the system that they're in, and call out their biases or their expectations going in, especially from recruiting. What did you notice? What meant a lot to you? What were you expecting? Let's make that objective, because is that operating and playing out right now? Oh, it's not. Then what is making the carousel go round? Let's talk about that. And then it helps to temper attitudes, outlooks, perspectives, if they want to leave or not. This system works with them. Um, so it's all of it. And I mean, in addition to they get their money, and then you have taxes, or they are now the breadwinner of their family.
Mm-hmm.
So their need for more might not be because they're comparing it to their peer. It's like, I'm trying to help my mama keep the house, or I want to help my sister pay off her loans or something like that. So it everything, microcosm of the world.
So that means you don't get a day off.
No, you gotta fight for those, especially if it's like, private practice clients, or professional clients who want to reach with you, or international. So no, we don't get a day off. But I think being who I am and how I digest things, it helps me stay live as well.
Well, we definitely have enjoyed you being with us.
Thank you.
You were the second person that we've had from that symposium
Okay.
to come in. Deanna Edwards, who spoke at, she's a high school basketball coach in town, and she has her own nonprofit. She appeared.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
We always offer our guests an opportunity to speak to our viewers and our listeners. We call them pearls of wisdom that you can offer and say anything you want to say that you feel that they can go away with besides what they heard from us this time.
I think what's relevant right now, pearls of wisdom: trust yourself. Just that inner trust. It will be your guide. You're the only person who you have to live with your whole life. So building your self-trust is a great compass, is a great North Star, is a great anchor to pursue what you want to pursue, or, establish a boundary that you need to establish. Yes. So I think I say that because society, peers, people pleasing, a lot of this plays out to pull you away from yourself, your true self, whom you know yourself to be. And if you haven't really tapped in with yourself and your self-trust, you might be in 50 million different directions, and you are a part of somebody else's agenda for you instead of your own. So self-trust, that is my pearls of wisdom, which leads you to just believe in yourself, self-efficacy, self-esteem, all of that. So yeah, trust yourself. Trust yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking
Thank you.
time out your busy schedule.
Thank you.
We hope that we can continue to stay in touch.
Please.
Because one of our goals of this podcast is to highlight the accomplishments of people that look like us, who don't always get that kind of recognition, and then introduce us to new people.
Yeah.
And that helps
wonderful.
a lot. So, and now when you see us, you can you can come up and say it.
I'm gonna be that Southern. Hey. Yes, loud and proud.
Well, thank you very much. This has been Blacklight on Sports. My name is Charles Hallman.
I'm Dr. Mitchell Palmer McDonald.
We appreciate you joining us, and please continue to read us in the newspaper and online. And we hope that you join us again very soon. Thank you.
Excellent.